Hey guys, how y'all doing? Um, a couple of months ago, I started filming small clips. I started filming a lot of stuff that we did. Um, I started noting a lot of my trips, a lot of things I did in the past year. I've been through quite a bit. A big transaction, moving from San Antonio, Texas to Puerto Rico. The one thing I can say that was great about my trip was that it was a learning experience for me. It taught me a lot of stuff, a lot of things that I otherwise wouldn't have found out, or I wouldn't have experienced for myself. Um, Moving to I guess another country, it's a change. It's a change for you, especially when you're not used to that. Um, I moved over there. I moved to Arecibo, Puerto Rico. I was out there for a good 7 8 months. Great people, great island. Uh, I met some very nice people over there. Up to this day, I still talk to them. They still call me just to check up on me, see how I'm doing. Um, I did a lot of learning, a lot of soul searching when I was over there. Trying to figure out who I was as far as where my life was going. Um, as many of y'all know, almost a year ago, I lost my mother to pancreatic cancer, and last year, which was like in January 25th, when my mom died, it hit me pretty hard. I had a lot of things in my head, a lot of stuff that I had to clear up. Um, I went through the basics, the basic feelings of, you know, feeling alone, angry, sad, um, regret, just so many things that go through your mind when you lose a parent. Yeah, all the questions that I'm sure that everybody goes through, I went through. Could I have been a better son if I would have listened to her more often? Last year's been pretty rough for me. Um, Lost my dad about a year and a half ago. Shortly after that, I lost my mom too. About a little over a year. It's like a little over a year apart. I lost both of my parents. So I mean, I had a lot of stuff I had to clear out of my head. I was in a situation where everywhere I went, I remembered about my mom, thought about my dad. All these different feelings and memories and questions, all just mounted up in my head. I was in a situation where I knew I had to get out of here. I knew I had to leave. I had to get away, at least, even if it was for a while. I just had to get away for a little bit. So at the time, I was dating a Puerto Rican girl that basically kept telling me, you know what, come to Puerto Rico, get away from the U.S. for a little while, get clear your mind, get yourself right, and if you like it here, you can stay here, and if you don't, hell, we can go back. That was the original plan, you know. Um, Spent some time with this girl. Stayed with her for about 4 years and a half. um, I kind of figured that I could trust her. At the time I was with her for like 3 years. At the time, I think now about over 3 years and a half, around there. Give or take. And so I mean, she had already been asking me this for quite some time. So I thought about it, started thinking, should I go, shouldn't I go, But the more time I spent here, I noticed that I was, depressed. Like I said, I felt alone. Uh, I didn't have either parent no more. I didn't have my dad, somebody that I could go to and ask for advice. Um, I didn't have that anymore. I didn't have my mom. Whenever I felt down, I felt depressed about a relationship. I didn't have her anymore there to give me the advice I needed. So I trusted this girl. I went to Puerto Rico. I kind of figured, well, how many times in my life am I gonna say, hey, I went to Puerto Rico. So at the time, going through the things that I was going through, I was like, well, that sounds like a good idea. That's something that I think, I need to do. At least for the meanwhile, at least just to get things out of my head and focus on me, figure out what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. I've always, like I said, I've always had my mom and my dad there, and they were always a big part of my life, But now, for the first time, I was basically left on my own. The only thing I had left was basically getting away and trying to get myself right. So I did. I went to Puerto Rico. First time flying and first time everything, I get there, it's off the back. I mean, I can see it's a change. It's something different, It's not, exactly the lifestyle I'm used to. But, being in love, you think to yourself, like, I can deal with this. I can do this, I can do it for the person that I love. I can do it for the person that's been there for me. And I went over there because her mom got hurt, and like she had helped me take care of my mom when my mom was going through her chemotherapy and all these things that she was going through, all the appointments and everything. She helped me with my mom. So I felt to go over there and help her with her mom because she went to Puerto Rico in the first place because her mom got hurt. I couldn't go with her at the time because my mom was already, basically in her last days, So I couldn't just get up and leave. So I told her, I said, well, look, your mom's hurt. Her mom fell off some ladder. I don't know exactly what was going on, but her mom supposedly got hurt. She had to go to Puerto Rico. So I told her, I said, look, man, you helped me take care of my mom, go take care of your mom. And because for me, I can't leave. I can't leave until all this is over with, So she said okay. She took off. She took off to Puerto Rico, and things were all right. Things were all right at first. I was taking care of my mom like she was taking care of her mom, and I was there with my mom basically until she died. When my mom died, I still contemplated, if I should go to Puerto Rico or not, only because I don't have any family there. I never been there, never been out of the country before. Only place I've been to is Mexico. But this is not just crossing the border. This is actually like crossing the ocean, So anyways, I went over there. Like I said, I had 3 years and a half with this girl, maybe a little more. We're almost at 4 years. But either way, I was with her for a while, so I kind of figured, well, I can trust her. She never acted wrong with me here. She's always treated me right, always been good to me. So I figured, since she had helped me with my mom, I felt obligated that I should help her with her mom. So I put all my belongings in the storage, left my car with my niece, and took the next flight out to San Juan, Puerto Rico. When I got there, everything was great, man. I mean, we hugged, we kissed, everything seemed legit. And for the first couple of days, everything was great. We got along real good, made love all the time, never argued. I felt we had a good relationship at the time, But out the back, it didn't dawn on me, because when I got there, she was like, well, I got this pain, and my back hurts and this, she just started telling me all these different things. And she told me that she needed some medication that she didn't have. She had ran out of it. And that in Puerto Rico, they sold the medication she needed. So, I mean, me not being from there, me not knowing how, the system runs over there, I was like, well, you know what? Okay, let's go get you this medication so you can feel better, whatever. We went, but the place that she took me to, it wasn't a place like, a pharmacy, a doctor, a nurse, anything like that. It wasn't anything like that. She took me to a place that looked drug infested. Took me to the projects. People outside selling all kinds of drugs. Puerto Rico's not like the U.S. People hide here. They hide. They don't want a problem with the law, But in Puerto Rico, it's different. The law doesn't have that kind of grip on the people. So the people, they do what they want. Sell drugs right out on the streets, But either way, she took me there. And like I said at the time, when one's in love, one's not thinking, well, this and that. It didn't dawn on me. The only thing that dawned on me was probably, maybe the pharmacist lives here in the projects. I don't know, But either way, for about, I would say about good 2-3 weeks, we did that, because she told me, well, I need this medication because at least until I can get my regular medication. She had ran out. So I was like, okay, well, so we're like 2-3 weeks in. I'm buying her these different pills. They're like 2-3 different pills that I'm buying her, And after a while, after like 2-3 weeks, I'm thinking to myself, well, look, man, this girl hasn't got her medication yet. I've been buying her these pills every day, for the past 2-3 weeks. She hasn't gotten her medication. Why not, So I started questioning her about it. And she's like, well, yeah, I'm gonna give my medication this week and this and that, and So I said, all right, So anyways, as time goes on, she gets her medication, her regular medication, her doctor medication. So I'm thinking, okay, that's the last of the problem. I'm not gonna hear about this no more, whatever. Well, lo and behold, a few days later, I find out that she's buying these pills. So I'm like, well, if you got your medication, why are you still buying these pills? I want to know why you're still buying them, So anyways, I questioned her about it. I asked her, I said, look, hey, what's going on with you, man? You're still buying this medication that supposedly you need. You're buying this medication when supposedly you already got your medication from your doctor. Why are you still needing to buy these if you already have these? You know what I'm saying? So then she started, well, no, it's just that they helped me a little bit more. The pills that the doctor gave me, they were weak and this and that. And anyways, long story short, I noticed that she started taking a lot of these pills. She wasn't only taking the pills that her doctor was prescribing for her, but she was taking these pills that she was buying out of the projects. So I already knew, man. I mean, like I said, I've been with this girl for the past 3 years and a half, maybe three, almost 4 years at that moment. Well, anyways, long story short, I later during that time I found out that this girl had a past when it came down to pills. I found out by her friends and family that she was popping a lot of these pills, and I started thinking, I started thinking to myself, what am I gonna do here? Because this girl has a pacemaker in her chest, and the doctors had talked to me and her about it, telling her that she's supposed to stay off all these different types of pills. She can't drink no pills besides the pills that the doctor prescribes for her. Well, anyways, I come out finding out that this girl's taking other pills, other narcotic pills that she should not be taking because of her heart, her pacemaker. So I'm there in Puerto Rico, at that time I'm thinking to myself like, oh my God, one day I'm gonna wake up and this girl's gonna be dead next to me. So I'm there contemplating, should I leave, should I stay? My heart's telling me to stay. My mind's telling me I should go back home to the US. So I'm stuck there, I'm stuck there, with all these different emotions, trying to figure out what to do. And during that time, I noticed that the pills were changing her. They were changing the way she talked to me, the way she acted towards me. She was no longer around. She was constantly always gone. Always at her mom's house. I think that was probably only an excuse to help her get her medication, her pills. I'm not gonna even call them medication. I'm just gonna call them her pills. Not knowing what tomorrow was gonna bring was that got me thinking a lot about our relationship. It wasn't easy. Before I decided to come back, it wasn't easy for me at all. I loved this girl, and I was kind of hoping that maybe she would have changed. Maybe it would have been different between us. Even though I still stuck around for a little bit more, I started talking to my brother, started talking to close friends of mine, people that I had met there in Puerto Rico. I started talking to them. A lot of people were telling me, look, man, you need to think of yourself now, because obviously she's not thinking of herself. She's not caring about herself. She's hooked to drugs, the pills. She's lying to you about them. And it got to the point where we were even arguing because I wouldn't want her to leave. I didn't want her to leave because I kind of felt that was one of the reasons why she wanted to go to her mom's. Because she wanted to, get these pills. And me being around, she knew she couldn't do that. And a lot of different things played into the problem, but I knew that if I would have stayed in Puerto Rico, I knew she wasn't going to change. I knew that if I stayed there, I was just going to stay there just to help her get worse, basically. One night, I was sitting there thinking if I should come home or not, and she got up. She caught me sitting at the table in the dark, thinking. I was sitting there thinking to myself, man, is it a good idea for me to be here? Should I just go back? Should I just listen to my brother and go back, come home to Texas, When you're in a situation with somebody you love and you see that you can't do nothing for them, you can't help them, no matter what you tell them, they're never going to change. They're never going to give up the narcotic. You can only stick around for so long. You can love your partner. You can struggle with them. You can do whatever you can do for them. But when it comes to drinking pills, when it comes to popping pills, it changed her. She became somebody else. She wasn't the same woman I met. After about 8 months that I was over there, I came to realize that there was nothing I could say or do to help her. I had to decide if I was gonna move forward with her or without her. A lot of people leave their relationships for different reasons. I just didn't want to see this girl kill herself. I knew that if I stayed, I knew that she was gonna one day overdose and die. I told her daughter that. I told her daughter, you don't watch your mom, one day she's not gonna wake up. She's not. And I know that. So, the night after she caught me sitting at the table in the dark thinking, I had made a decision. That night I had made a decision. That night I had said to myself, I am going to tell her not to go to her mom's. I'm going to tell her not to go to her mom's because I knew that her going to her mom's, I knew that's how she was getting her pills. Like I said, there was a lot of things that were wrong in our relationship. A lot of things that were wrong. But this is just one of them. This is one of the major ones. I knew that she wasn't going to change. I knew that she wasn't going to do anything good in her life. I knew that she was going to continue drinking those pills until she really messed herself up. I had to make a tough decision. The following day, we woke up. Or should I say, I woke up before she did. And I sat there, and I already knew, I said, I'm going to try to stop this girl from going to her mom's. And that's going to be a problem. Because I knew she was going to want these pills. I knew that that was her way of getting them. And I was about to cut that off. Well, she wakes up the next day. I look at her. She wakes up in a good mood. Says good morning, sits there, talks to me for a little bit. And then I hit her with it. I told her, I said, hey, tonight, or should I say today, it wasn't tonight, it was in the morning. I said, today, what do you say you stay home and you don't go anywhere? I told her that, and that's all it took. When I told her that, that was all it took. She blew up. Oh, she made a big thing out of it. I stood there, I looked at her, and I seen a person I've never seen before. I seen a person that I've never met before. It was a different person, it wasn't the same one. It was then I realized that the pills had control of her. I then realized that no matter who said what, who did what, she was going to continue drinking these pills. She was going to continue popping these pills. Got into a huge argument, huge fight. And I gotta say, most of the argument, most of the fighting was done by her part. But it wasn't the girl that I met. That wasn't the woman that I met. That wasn't the woman that I had spent the past almost 4 years with. That was a whole different person. That's when I said to myself, this is different. I gotta go. I can't be here anymore. Because if I stay here, it's just a matter of time that this girl is gonna wind up dead. Like I said, nobody can stop them from popping pills. Nobody can stop a drug user from doing drugs. The only one that can stop them is them. Only they can stop themselves. You can be a friend, you can be a relative, you can be anybody and talk to them. Try to see if they'll listen to you, see if they're willing to quit. But with this girl, she wasn't ready to quit. Hell, she didn't even believe that she had a problem. So I made the decision of coming home. Came home. Which pretty much meant, it's pretty much over between us. It was difficult for me because I still love this girl. It was difficult for me because I didn't know the person she had become. She had changed so much that I didn't know who she was anymore. All I knew at that time was that she wasn't the person that I had met. Not anymore, at least. So, came back home, got here, and been here already for maybe a little over a month now. Not sure, but it's been good. It's been great. I still have feelings for this girl. Can't tell you I'm in love with her anymore, but I can tell you I still have feelings for her. I don't wish her anything bad. I hope she kicks her habit. And I hope she meets someone that's gonna steer her the right way. Someone that's gonna help her, do things right. You gotta be with her, man, if she meets somebody that pops pills just like her. My whole thing is going to Puerto Rico and losing my, because of losing my mom, losing my dad, going to Puerto Rico to clear my head, just to go over there and wind up with another problem. Looking at now my then girlfriend popping all these pills and basically waiting for her to die. Basically waiting for her to not wake up one day. I couldn't do that no more. I had already lost my mom. I had already lost my dad. Just a year and a half apart. I was already dealing with death. I was already dealing with losing my parents. I didn't want to deal with death anymore. I didn't want to see no one else close to me die. Now I'm sitting there in a room in Puerto Rico, looking at my then girlfriend, walking around the house looking like a zombie, spaced out. I could sit there and talk to her and she's staring right at me, but there's no one home. It's empty. Now I'm here. Now I'm back in San Antonio, getting my life straight. and starting my life all over again. If I could tell her something, if she's watching this video, all I would tell you is take care of yourself. I hope you get over that drug habit, man. I hope you leave it for you, for your kids, for your future boyfriend, for your family. I wish you nothing but the best. Be safe. Take care of yourself.